Well folks, here we are with episode 2 of the house wiring project. I'm not going to turn off the AC unit to make it easier to hear me because I need the cooling. I think I mentioned in the last episode that the work we did on the first day, I changed my soaking t-shirts twice. I think yesterday was 3 t-shirt changes. Today's been one already. I don't do well away from the AC. We've made good progress. The kitchen's complete. All the circuits are tested. So it's 3 separate circuits. So we've done the laundry, toilet, back airlock area. That was fairly extensive because that was 7 separate power points on how many drops? 5 drops from the ceiling. So yeah, a bit busy. Dadang is busily working on the back kitchen, which is a room which for some reason or other does not cool down overnight. Like you go in there at 7:30 in the morning and it says, yep, it's 30 degrees in here. And as I say, I don't do well in that environment, even with just a standard fan blowing on me. But one of the things that slowed down progress a lot was actually installing the first range hood. I started with the one in the back kitchen because I figured we can practice on that one, and if we don't get it quite nice as we should, that's the back kitchen. We'll have the experience and we'll be able to do a good job with the ones in the main kitchen. So that's done, and I just tested that this morning, and yeah, it's actually pretty good. Still thinking about how to duct one of the kitchen ones out through the outside wall. One of them's actually on an outside wall, so we just go straight out, no problem. Well, the only problem is actually penetrating that hole in the wall because the walls are tough. The other one is on an internal wall, so we need to go up and across. So I'll consult with my experts and see whether we can go up to the ceiling and out and across, or whether we need to make something to box in the ducts going across the top of the wall. The stainless steel shrouds go up, and then there's a vertical section which is variable between about half a metre and 800 to 900 millimetres high. That isn't enough to reach the ceiling because we've got 3 metre ceilings. So given I have lots of sheets of MDF I bought from Melbourne, 6mm MDF, because that's handy stuff, so I thought, right, I'll have that for projects. So I could actually build a frame and clad it with the MDF and bolt that to the wall. So yeah, as I say, I'll consult with my experts on that. And now you're going to have background noise of Jabota frying lunch. Probably not that much benefit in showing you things because physically they don't look much different from the previous one. This is more wires connected in the switchboard and more power points in the wall, which are not terribly exciting. Yesterday I did actually fit the electric bidet to the toilet seat, to the toilet in the main shower toilet here, because I needed to know where on the wall the power point had to come down to reach the cable properly. So that's sitting there but not actually powered at the moment. I've got another one of those for out the back toilet. So that will get fitted later. But yeah, Jabota says almost finished. No, not almost finished. I think we're actually about halfway through with the wiring at the moment. Maybe even not that much, because there's still 3 bedrooms to do, which are going to be, well, 2 of them are fairly straightforward, but the main bedroom is a bit more complex because I've got to get some framing built up in the roof space to sort of suspended from the roof trusses to provide a stable and solid mount for a TV ceiling mount, and have on that a PowerPoint and a plate with 3 HDMI sockets and an Ethernet socket for the TV. Yeah, so I might leave that one to last. The outside PowerPoints, of which there are going to be 6, they shouldn't be too challenging. Just might have to buy some sort of the round conduit meant for outside for those, to fit those up, because that's what the outside PowerPoint units that I have are actually built for. So we'll look into that. But that's the update for episode 2. So I'll leave it there. Actually, the back kitchen's a bit challenging because being a skillion roof off the back of the house, we had to come through the wall. So we're through the wall. There'll be a junction box go up in that corner. Focused on it. It's supposed to be an auto-focus camera. I don't think we're focusing very well. Because it's not light enough. That junction box you see sitting on top of the PowerPoint will go up at that junction. Then we run across to another junction, down to another PowerPoint, across to another junction which will then go across the ceiling. Actually, this junction here also goes across the ceiling to a junction box there, and there'll be another horizontal to a PowerPoint for the range hood. There's the range hood. It's 1200mm, 3000 cubic meters per hour range hood, and I had these on my watch list on eBay at about $1,500 a shot. And one day I saw they're on sale for $641. So I thought, okay, now's the time to buy. So $641, I thought that was pretty good value. I did actually test it earlier, and yes, it sucks a lot of air out. As you can see, not a lot of room to the ceiling, so we had to get a bit creative with that top shroud. And it is actually very low relative to me, so it will be hazardous. It's still above Jabita's head height, so she'll be okay. I'll just have to be wary. I think that's about 1.5 meters. The ones in the other two in the main kitchen, they'll be at 1.6 meters. So it's still hazardous to me, but even safer for Jabita and just about everybody else around here, because they're not tall people. Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to where it's cool, because I'm melting down again. And as you can see, we're not yet organised. We're getting there, but not yet organised. There's a lot to do yet. Okay, several days have passed since the last clip, during which we've wired most of the house. There is one remaining cable to be wired into the switchboard at this point, and that's for the main bedroom. So the process for this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to say, okay, well, here's my earth lead, which is going to go to there, so give myself a bit to feed through. Okay, so fair bit of scrap. This is yeah, another story. I bought 4 100-meter rolls of cable to wire this house, thinking from my calculations I would need about 370 meters. We got to the second last PowerPoint and the final reel run out. I had another partial reel, a 10-meter reel that I had in my bits and pieces left over. So we used that. That left us one PowerPoint remaining that we couldn't do. So Jabita's gone off with Dadang this morning to Panerbag to buy other things and instructions to buy the right cable. Now, a 10 metre reel would be enough, but if they only offer a 100 metre reel, that's okay, because we have other projects later on where I would end up using it, some of it at least, anyway, more than 10 metres. So we'll see whether they get the right wire. 2.5 square millimetre area cross section is what we want. I've given them a sample piece and a label of one of the 100 metre reels, so hopefully we'll end up with the right thing. If it's only 1.5 millimetre, that means it's for lighting only, and we don't have lighting circuits on this board. They're off the old switchboard that goes through the room on my left. Okay, earth in. Now, the active comes from here, 2B. So just drill my active cable down through the back here. Okay. Through. Now this may not be wired quite to Australian standards, morning. I was doing a video of the last wire that could be connected. Actually, that's the second last wire. I've got the neutral bit, and you're standing right in the frame of the picture.
Wow.
There you go. So you're going to end up on YouTube. Okay. Circuit 2B. Wow. This isn't actually the last of the wiring overall. It's the last of the wiring for this house. After the one PowerPoint we're going to do. That's what we're going to go down to here. The top row up here is for wiring to other houses, which I have not even considered at this point, other than providing for it. And they will connect, and there are power meters here for each of those. What I should do is actually connect up the power for the power meters while I'm doing this, which I'll proceed to do momentarily. I assure you this is being done pretty much to Australian standards, which is going to be much higher than the local standards, which appear to be. Please yourself. So this has got all the necessary safety switches and everything else involved. Back. And crimps under that one. Sorry if this is a bit dull for you, but there's been a lot of this, which is why you haven't seen it on video. It's just this and wiring PowerPoints. We've done a lot of that in the last few days.
I'll show you some more momentarily. Okay, so sorry, 4. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one. I've learnt to always cut the wires a bit longer than you think you need, because when you cut them a bit short, it's a bit of a bugger. I don't think we've had 5 metres of waste through doing that, but it's possible, in which case I might have had enough cable. Okay, so in the switchboard you think, okay, there's a lot of breakers here, but like I have a circuit per bedroom, a circuit to the lounge room, 3 circuits for the kitchen actually, because I figure kitchen you're using high powered devices like electric barbecue, 2400 watts, bread maker, so all those sort of things are high power consumption. So I figure let's have multiple independent circuits in the kitchen. That's done. Look at this. There's a circuit for outside power points on the north side of the house, 4 of those. There's a circuit for outside power points on the south side of the house, 3 of those. So there's good redundancy of power, of circuits, I hope. There's so many power points, like I bought a box of 50, not using all of them, but there's a box of 50 plus 1 extra I had already, plus 6 extras which are double power points with 2 USB ports on them as well. Those 6 have gone into the 3 bedrooms. So at night you can have your device charging. Oh, there we go. Right, so this is just connectors for these little guys, which are little toroids. They will go around the active wire for each of the circuits I'm measuring, and somewhere in here we have the power wire. And all I have to do is feed that off through this hole to somewhere where it's going to get power all the time. Well, all the time in the main switching board. Be nice. This meter bank over here, this is actually connected to the input side of the main switch, so that shows you how much power you have, and because with that turned off you'll still see what's happening over there. This one doesn't need the same sort of thing, because there's no point to this being active unless there's something connected through here. So what we do is we just find somewhere where the power is feeding in and drop these in. Just better. There is a lot more monitoring going on here than you would see in a normal house. I think that's just because I am the way I am. Okay, so there's a couple of good ones to go to. See how things are corroding here already. A lot of the aluminium copper stuff has gone black with corroding where it's been exposed to the atmosphere. So that might be a bit. Drop that back in this hole. After I've done it up, it pulls out into there. Yes, we are. Remarkable. Okay. So feed that around the edge. Well, I can now button this up. So I just have to step past you and go and retrieve the cover. There is in there, that's good. Now, I wonder if this will still go on now that I've got this wiring in place. Come out very far in the future. Might end up putting joiners on this one to make that wire longer later. I think I might make that one a little bit short. Where I'm getting power. Maybe I should come across and get it from the top of these. That's something we can go look at later. No big deal. In there. Right, we're on. So, as I say, I'm not an electrician, but I consider myself an informed amateur. And, well, they got the right cable, sort of. The only difference between what I brought from Australia and what they sourced locally was the American colour coding instead of the Australian colour coding. So it was blue, brown and green instead of red, black and yellow, green. Yeah, so that final power point got wired up back to the junction box up in the ceiling for that particular circuit. We got the Ethernet cable and HDMI cable run to that port. The TV, I've adjusted the bracket here by putting a longer link on it so I can get more tilt on it, so that it's a more comfortable view from the bed. And yeah, what else we got? This is the CCTV cupboard where you see the assorted bits and pieces, like cables coming through the wall, HDMI cables, Ethernet cables. There's an Ethernet switch in there, and the DVR for the CCTV, and another computer. I always have more computers. Yeah, so I won't show you where that is. We got the HDMI cables run for the AV system. There's one that goes to the
kitchen TV, so it comes down that conduit on the left. 10 metre cable, just barely long enough, like it's plugged in at this end, and this is how much extra hangs out down the end. So that kind of constrains where my AV amplifier is going to go a bit. The other cable is from my main computer, the white one under the desk there. So that comes down that conduit. I've left that one open at the moment because there's got to be another Ethernet cable come down there yet. That Ethernet cable there, that kind of ran my reel out. I'm sure there's more around here somewhere, but we'll buy some and finish the last couple of circuits. There's that one and the one for the TV, the kitchen TV. Yeah, so now I'm starting to rearrange things in here so I can get at my cabling for speakers. So yeah, it's still a shamozzle, but we're getting closer to organised. Things are, more and more things are finding their place. I did have a bit of a disaster with one box of my good old Lucky German grain bread mix, where every single packet had been penetrated by borers of some kind. Don't know whether they were wood borers or weevils, but they went through the plastic in all 4 packets inside. The rest of them seem to be untouched, which is fortunate because they aren't real cheap. So that'll be about a year's worth, maybe. But of course, bread machine's not going to get started up until we've got the solar power. I got contact from those guys the other day to say, yep, the gear's coming in June, but they're running well behind schedule on installations, so they look like being here in July. Okay, not like I have a choice. But okay, I'm gonna edit this up, chuck it up online, and get back to chasing cables.